right, comparing fractions. This is standard 4.NL.2. Okay, so I'm going to go over how to compare fractions that have the same numerator, the same denominator, and then I'm going to do the one that has a different numerator and different denominator. Okay, so same numerators right here in the purple. I have 2/3 and 2/5. Now there is a trick when you're doing the same numerator. If the numerators are the same, both these numerators are the same, you then look at the denominator and you see that this denominator is smaller than this denominator. So whichever one is the smallest, which is the 3, that means that this fraction is the largest fraction, okay? I say that again. Whenever the numerators are the same, you look at the denominators and see which one is greater. All right, the 3 is smaller than the 5, but you go with the smaller denominator, and that makes this fraction the largest fraction. And I'm going to come back and show you something with this, okay? This is the largest one, okay? All right, same denominator. Okay, they both have the same denominator. Whenever they have the same denominator, you look at the numerator. Whichever numerator is the greatest, that's the greatest fraction. So right here, 3 is greater than 2, so 3/5 is greater than 2/5. Now, when I come down here and do different numerator and different denominator, I'm going to cross multiply and rewrite this whole fraction, both fractions, okay? First, I'm going to do the 8 times 2, that's 16. I'm going to do the 3 times 3, that's 9. Even though I'm writing in different color markers, to make sure that you don't mess this up, you can circle it so you know this is what you wrote up there, okay? And then we're going to multiply the denominators. 3 times 8 is 24. So now I'm going to rewrite it over here. I have 16 over 24. And then I have 9 over 24. 16 over 24 is equivalent to 2/3. And 9 over 24 is equivalent to 3/8. Just in case you're wondering what I mean by equivalent, 2/3 is equivalent to 16 over 24, because if I do times 8, 2 times 8 is 16, and then 3 times 8 is 24. That's what I mean by equivalent. So the same thing applies to 3/8 being equivalent to 9/24. Just in case you're wondering. Okay. 3 times 3 gives me 9. I got to do the same thing down here. 8 times 3 is 24. That's how I know it's equivalent. So now that I rewrote the problem, both denominators are the same, which goes back up here. Both denominators are the same. If both denominators are the same, look at the numerator. 16, 9. 16 is greater than 9. See, I rewrote this using the cross. Some people call it the butterfly method. I cross multiplied it, and then I multiplied the denominator, and I rewrote it over here. So that way I can apply the same denominator rule that I did to this on this. So now, one more thing I want to say. You can apply this cross multiplication method to a fraction that has the same numerator and same denominator, and you should come out with the same answers. So let's do it. I get 2/3, and I get 2/5. Change the code so you can see it. 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 5, 15, and I can rewrite it. Two-thirds is equivalent to 10/15. 2/5 is equivalent to 6/15. All I did was cross multiply denominators, and I rewrote it. So now I'm back to the same thing that says same denominators. 10 is greater than 6, which is the answer I already had right here. This cross multiply applies to the same thing with same denominator. So 2/5 and 3/5. I'm going to cross multiply 10, 15, 25. So now I have 10 over 25 and 15 over 25. So now they both have the same denominator. All I got to do is see which one has the highest numerator, which is this one, which is the same answer I had before. Okay, I said one more time. If they have the same numerator, go with the smaller denominator. That's the greater fraction. Okay? If they have the same denominators, just look at the numerators and go with the larger numerator. And if they have a different numerator and denominator, all you got to do is cross multiply 8 times 2, 3 times 3. Doesn't matter what numbers at the top or the bottom. Just do from here to this side, from here to this side, and do the denominators. Rewrite it, and just look at the numerators and go with the larger numerator. This method can be applied to same denominator, which I did over here, same numerator, which is what I did over here. All else fails, you can always cross multiply and rewrite it to be able to compare the fractions.